Well, as you've seen there, tributes are pouring in for SABC soccer analyst David Kekana. He died at just a young age of 47. Let's chat to somebody who knew him well, Eben Jansen. Eben, you knew him for more than 2 decades, and people are just saying this was a regular, nice guy.
One of the nicest men that I've met in the industry over the years. David was more than just a colleague. He was a friend. You know, he was there for my daughter's birthday. He was always there giving me advice on how to bring up my children. We were that close. We had a group of guys that, you know, over the years maybe made a contribution collectively at SABC Sports specifically. It was a guy like David Kekana, Walter Mokoena, Robert Marawa, the late Mzimasi Mgabisa. I hear Robert is now also having his own issues at the moment, which is very difficult for all of us to confront because these men represent a moment in time, and I was very fortunate to work with all of them. And for me, David was the easiest character to get along with. He was the most knowledgeable, he was the most passionate, and what many people don't know, they think David supported Orlando Pirates all the years. He didn't. He was a Morocco Swallows man, and I'm wearing the burgundy today just to show David the respect for that.
Oh man. And the knowledge that he had is something that people keep talking about. And I had a chance to talk to him a few times, and he knew soccer.
Football, especially local football. Local football was in David's DNA. You know, when he spoke about teams, he spoke more of their history and their place in the world. Like, you know, he always would insist with me, you know, Urban Orlando Pirates is not a football team. It's a political movement. It's much deeper than that. They're greater things that we need to understand when we think about how this football team fits into the psyche of South Africa. Very deep man, a very well-read man, but in the end, just a soft gentleman who was always there for the little guy. And what people won't know about David, what I know, is that David spent hours and hours and hours bringing through young people, bringing through young women. Carol Manana, you can go down the list of young women that came through SABC Sport. Carol Manana is one that stood out because David really helped her a lot in the beginning phase. Now she's, of course, a world superstar. But, you know, David taught her football. David would sit with her like we're sitting now and have her rehearse links when the studios were empty. David was that guy. He cared that much about people. He brought a lot of young people through. There's a place here called the Production V10 area. You'll go there now and you'll see there'll be 10, 12 young people sitting there. David would have been working with them for the last month or so, continuing that pursuit for excellence and the deep love that he's always had for the game.
And well known across the country and beyond even.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we underestimate his knowledge of the game. David didn't only know local clubs and culture and that sort of thing. He had a global understanding of the game. He understood Spanish football, Italian football, English football, and he could contribute in a way that I think many people didn't realize. You know, he advised a lot of football bosses behind the scenes. He had that sort of contribution beyond the journalism, but he tried his luck once as a spokesperson for FCAK. That didn't end too well, but you know, I only have fond memories, and today's a sad day because you kind of think about your place in the world when your friends start to pass on, and I feel quite tender about Robert's issues as well because you know we came through the ranks 25 years ago together in a way, and our careers kind of interlinked over time. It was a great time, and I had a great time with these men, Peter.
All right. Well, we've certainly had a great time with you as well, personally, because today's your last day here at the SABC, isn't it? And that's decades of service. How are you feeling?
I feel a bit numb, actually, today, to be honest, Peter. It's been an emotional day with David and all, and having to think about funerals and how this is going to play out this week and what we're going to do. And sort of it makes it a little bit easier to say goodbye because I've got, you know, you always think your life is important, but, you know, there are more important things, like, you know, David's no longer with us, so I've got happy problems, I suppose. But yeah, my last day today, Peter, it's been fantastic, 25 years in and around television, most of them on air. I started here in 1994 as a cadet. I was selected as one of 3 back in the day when they still selected you to come to the SABC. When this place was one of the finest newsrooms and one of the best broadcasters in the world.
Yeah. And I suppose public broadcasting very special as well, isn't it?
Yeah, for me personally, Pete. You know, I've always felt that my fight was for the little guy. We come from such a tumultuous history that we wanted to tell this new South African story, and in a way, the fight for a guy like David, myself, Mzi was always to kind of push for the little guy. And one of the things that, you know, we actively fought as a group was the fight to de-racialize the selection of South African teams. And we've taken a lot of beatings for it. Myself, I've taken my beatings for it, but it's ironic, all these ironies, David's life, and the Springbok team is being announced today, and I look at the makeup of the Springbok team, and when I came into the business, there was only one player of colour on the wing. So 25 years later, to see the racial makeup of our team and to see the team going to the World Cup with that team with a real chance to go and win it, Peter, I feel job done. Job done.
Well,
I've made my contribution and I can move on.
Great job done here. We wish you the best of luck in your next adventure, but hopefully you're not totally lost to the system. We'll cross paths somewhere along the way.
I'm sure I will pop up. I won't mention it just yet, Peter, but I will pop up somewhere in the future. And I look forward to the new opportunities that are coming my way. The next job is to lay David to rest and give him a fitting send-off to a great broadcaster.
All right, Eben, thanks so much indeed. It's been an honor.
Thanks, Peter.
All right, we're going to be back at the top of the hour as we tell your story. Stay with us.